even when we have growth, that's not enough. We really need a particular type of growth. We need growth that is smarter, so it's investment-led and not personal debt-driven. So as real incomes have been stalling, people have had to take out a lot of debt just to retain their living standards. That's debt-driven growth. We need growth that is more sustainable, so greener, so we actually have a planet to live on. And of course we need growth that is more inclusive, because inequality has in fact been rising even in decades when we had growth. And what this agenda sets out, I think, is a framework through which to understand those challenges of smarter, more inclusive, and greener growth. And it's absolutely fantastic how it also provides an analytical framework by talking about 3 different types of dynamic efficiencies. Schumpeterian efficiency, which is about innovation, Keynesian efficiency, which is about both inclusion and aggregate demand as being fundamental to also increasing the expectations of the business community of where their markets will be, and environmental efficiency, dynamic efficiency. And it's essential, to be honest, for the world, not just for the region, but for the region for sure, because when you have productivity lagging and growth lagging, it's sometimes easy just to think of doing some short-run kind of remedies in order to reinvigorate growth. And that doesn't really work for the long run. It doesn't work for solving massive problems around the structural composition of the, but actually understanding innovation as a cross-cutting ways to transform the entire economy. And what I was talking about this morning was the need to understand the policy space in that transformation. And we often pretend that all that is needed is, policy is setting the rules of the game, leveling the playing field, fixing different types of market failures, when actually places like Silicon Valley have required much more than that. They've required a co-investment between public and private actors. They've required a presence along the whole innovation chain, not just basic research and science of the public sector, and also a demand-pull strategy which allows new technologies to diffuse across the whole economy. So the policy imperative is huge, and yet we're living through a period in history which is kind of depressing in terms of our lack of faith and interesting thinking around the policy space. We pretend, for example, that the problem is always big government and too much policy, too much regulation, too much tax. That's a very simplistic view. What we need are new governance structures, which this document really highlights. It keeps using the word governance, not just regulation. Governance to actually form markets by both co-investing, but also shaping those markets in a fairer way. Markets are outcomes.